Alright, so it is time for another Drawing in the Dark. Today, I am going to be working on the last of the supervillain miniseries that I have been working on here with these past 10 episodes. From here, I'm going to change up my theme for the next 10 episodes. And so there'll be more on that later. But today, we've got Green Goblin. And he might not be one of the most powerful supervillains. He's not even necessarily, I guess he is on my top favorite list. You know, he's definitely iconic. He's about as silly as it gets as far as like his character design. But it's worked, especially over the years. You know, they've been able to update it. I'm really not a fan of the live action movie adaptations. I don't know how you would do the Green Goblin's costume design better to make it look more plausible. But yeah, they're definitely not there on it though. As per usual, I work out. You know, I block out my forms. I think about my pose. I try to, have that pose representative to the personality of the character. With this one, kind of like a bent over crouch. He's riding that glider thing of his. It just looks like something that would make sense to be swooping down onto Spider-Man sort of thing. It's just pretty much the same old. I'm working out and building up the elements, mostly focused on the shapes of things until I really get all of that locked in. There's no plan. I do look at some reference before I do these, but there really is no master plan. I haven't done any pre-sketching. I just kind of I do a little bit of studying, and then I jump in here raw, just so I can really kind of show a on-the-spot kind of process with this, I guess. I guess that's one of the things I'm trying to show with this is a spontaneity and on the spot, and then just trying to build something out using, what's in my head, applying the knowledge and stuff. A lot of the drawing tips that I've gotten from the Rod Gone drawing videos on YouTube. If you haven't checked him out, man, if you're looking for videos on like how to draw, that's really one of the places that you need to go. This was a fun kind of process for me. This one went a little bit quicker. It did take 2 sittings. And I tend to draw record these in like 20-minute kind of bits. That way I can keep the file sizes lower. Because that's one of my biggest struggles with producing these, is managing the amount of data that my tablet can handle, that my phone can transfer. And honestly, my phone can handle a good bit more than my tablet can as far as storage and processing. This poor tablet here, it gets bogged down pretty easy these days. All that stuff's in the description what I'm using. This is a Surface Pro 6. Not really an Apple user. I don't care. I don't like Apple. Went to art school, learned everything on Apple, got out of art school, stopped using Apple. Anyway, sometimes I do fiddle around with getting into different details, and then going back into a more general, zoomed out kind of approach. Sometimes I'll look at how things are viewed compositionally versus how things are viewed detail-wise, and kind of move in and out of those concerns and considerations, and then really trying to establish these different planes of foregrounds and stuff. Like how his head should feel like it's the most forward thing, and then his chest, and then his lower body, his legs and stuff are further back, but the knees are forward. So there's just balancing out those kinds of elements and trying to make sure that it's read in a way that I want it to be read. One of the things I still always love, and I've mentioned this before, is just how deliberate everything looks when it's all sped up, when there's so much indecision and wandering and stuff through these pieces that frankly you just don't see when it's all sped up. You just really don't. I do go through a transition here, about halfway through the video, and this is a shorter one, but about halfway through here, I do transition into a different kind of like color tone. The white balance changes and stuff, and that's just because I'm not doing these all in one sitting. Honestly, that's one of the things that being able to pre-record and edit these makes so much easier, because it is hard for me to be able to sit down all at one time and then just work on something like this, or work on any kind of art project. Frankly, I have to do it in these pieces in between the other tasks and stuff that I'm doing while I'm up here in Montana, and so it's a bit of a balance. There is definitely a lot of challenges here that I've had to work out in order to keep doing some kind of creative work. So I'm going to fill up some dead space just by letting the drawing go by here while I think of something to say. It is cool, with this this run here, these first 10 videos of the supervillains. I think Knuckles is a villain, right? And you can really tell by the Knuckles one that I did that I'm really working with a character that I'm not hugely aware of, or even really interested in a pop culture creative sense. And so that's definitely the most uninspired of these past 10. And I think they've all really turned out good. And I am, looking forward to doing more of these. I have a plan for the next 10 that's going to be robots. So but I want to go and continue to push like a darker, grittier edge to things. I didn't do that so much here with the Green Goblin. I guess there's just like a little bit of a darker edge to him naturally, but I do want to kind of pump out a creepier vibe to a lot of these pieces that would make them stand out, especially continuing to do like recognizable pop culture stuff for this, especially for the YouTube. That would it would just make my life a whole lot easier, and I think still give me something really interesting to play out. I am hoping to get new background music. I'm working on that. I do want to get something that I own and that's kind of custom, and so we'll see where that goes. That can be a process, and it's not necessarily a process I'm going to wait on. I don't know if I'll change up the music, or maybe just tone this one down a little bit. It's getting a little old, but at the same time, I just don't want to deal with hunting for more music or anything like that at all. So we'll see how that goes. I am getting a little bit more efficient as far as setting these up, cutting them down, the editing and stuff. That's all been a process that I'm starting to get the hang of. I'm editing this in CapCut, and it's not bad. I just have to I just got to figure out more of what's going on. Oh, nice. Was that the heat turned off or something here? Man, it gets cold in Montana. You know, it's June. But damn, yeah. So we're coming to the end here of this guy. He was a lot of fun doing this Green Goblin piece. No complaints. Yeah, he was just cool. And always, check out the Pop Culture Classics podcast. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/mop and bucket. We get the art books on Amazon, the comic book planner, All Skulls, Curse of the Jade Monkey. Search for those. Links are also in the description. We also have some t-shirts. I believe you can get them through the jademonkey.net store and order those up. We get a bunch of designs actually too, over the course of a good handful of years here, Kenny and I have put together some awesome pieces and stuff. So don't forget to check those out, and we'll check you guys out in the next one. Later.